All right, so when you think about technology, maybe you're looking at technology in different ways. One of the biggest things that has hit the technology scene this year has been workforce technology, and I'm talking about things like standing desks, new kinds of office fixtures, software, all that ties the new worker into the modern day office. Today we thought we'd dive deep on that, and my name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. Thanks for tuning in. Today we want to dive a little deeper on this and really kind of go into one of the companies that is providing the services. Just a full disclaimer, we actually use their products in our studio. It's a company called autonomous.ai, and joining me today I've got Jason Yacy, who is the head of global sales. Great to have you, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey, I like this desk. We're riding a nice, beautiful standing desk here. This is one of the big ones. It's the XL version, so it's got a lot of depth here, so you can kind of see our set. We use this. We flipped it around though. We use it a little differently because we love the little portals back here, so our hosts can get cables or things like that to move around. So it's a little fun to have on the set, and we use it every day. So it's been great. Tell me a little bit, first of all, about Autonomous for people who maybe do not know everything you guys do.
So Autonomous grew up being one of the premier office furniture companies, right? Like you said, we wanted to create the best quality product for the home office and for the offices, and keeping in mind what the employee would want. We're moving into a next generation of stand-up desks, and how do we control them, and how do we make basically the environments more appealing, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
Now where we're going is we're actually now moving into a technology company. So we are taking the organization to a new level of what I would call a fern tech. So your desks are now actually going to be connected to you, and the software itself to manage your overall office or the overall employee experience is all going to become one platform.
Yeah, I like the approach that I've seen companies start to take over this last 18 months with things that have happened globally. Obviously, we've seen a complete shift to both work from home and hybrid remote work. We here in our own studio and our own media company have gone to remote producers. We do a lot more remote work around social media. A lot of the more tech jobs that work for our company have gone remote, with the exception of a team that's here in studio. When you look at the future of how work is going to happen, where do you see this going? Do you think that we'll ever return to that normalcy of that 9 to 5 job and everybody goes to the office at 9 o'clock and clocks out at 5?
You know what? That's a great question. It's kind of a common theme when I talk to my customers all the time. The short answer is I'm not sure where this is going to go, because everyone's going to be all over the place on this. At first, companies begrudgingly accepted this as a short-term necessity, right? Let's have our people from home. They had to figure out a way to keep the lights on and survive during this last 16 months. But moreover, it challenged the traditional values that people had 9 to 5, that mental value, right? And even organizations would look at, how long were you in the office, because that determined how much productivity you had, right?
Yeah.
So, now they're starting to see that you can effectively function at home. So that was a big milestone, I think, in a lot of organizations, are how much productivity am I going to get out of my workers if they're at home? Are they going to be watching soap operas or sitting with their kids? But I think it's what surprised a lot of individuals, and I talked to a lot of senior executives too, is my productivity has actually gone up. So now, do I believe it's going to stay? I do believe we've broken through a milestone or a tradition that's been around for generations of workers.
Yeah, I mean, our show talks to a lot of tech executives. They've kind of been in this approach for years to where they had a lot more remote people. I mean, we talk to companies that are completely remote. They actually have no HQ. Yeah. Now, the model that you're talking about, though, is a bit different, because everybody kind of wants, productivity-wise, I know for me, working from home, I have my own home studio if we ever had to go remote. And
Yeah.
I have to have it set up just right to be able, one, to do what we do. But I think for any remote worker or tech worker, just because of all the tool sets we're using today, whether it's multi-monitors, variety of different keyboards, the stand, the sit, having that ability to kind of plug in and play and work from anywhere and then flip over and go to your personal, kids soccer match at, 2 o'clock, whatever it might be. But the point is it's really kind of changed the dynamic of the work from home model. How have you guys addressed this for the new work from home crowd that has popped up somewhat seemingly overnight?
Well, so we modified our approach to dealing with the home office worker, right? What people are really looking for is they're trying to understand, how do I create an office environment that's unique to me? How do I continue to be productive while I'm at home? And so what we've done is we've taken a step back, and as I said, we create amazing furniture, but how do we create that intimate feeling of I'm still in the office? I feel connected to my organization, and I believe we're doing that now with the strategies we're coming forward with. Is like our desks now can connect to you as an individual, and when you do come back in the office, our connected desk will remember your settings that you have in your home. So we're trying to make sure that the transition, and also as you're working from home, there's a lot of similarities, because it's that feeling of being connected. And that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do with all our strategies, is making people feel that they're still part of the organization, no matter where they are.
Well, I think, when you have a space, in most homes these days are a little bit limited on space, so you've got to have the right kind of equipment in there. In many
Yeah.
cases, I mean, sometimes when you go to, and not a knock on IKEA, I don't want to get that, but when you go to when you go to IKEA, you get, you kind of get this stamped out thing that you have to kind of, it's got an odd corner size. It doesn't necessarily fit in the
Yeah.
right space. It doesn't necessarily go up and down, so you've got to kind of retrain your body. So there's some things there that I think that you guys have solved, especially around the seating side. I love the ergo
Yeah.
chairs you guys have. So that's a big, which to me, when you're working at home, I have a problem with sometimes going for too long
Yeah.
in one, and if you're not in really good chairs, unless you are, sometimes you just get lost in something and you're 3 hours later, you're look up and it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Spent so much time
Well,
there.
I had a customer say to me, this was just this week, and we were talking about the ergo chairs because we spend a lot of effort into the design, even how it's built. Every piece of that is built and pulled together from different sources. Like, we have our fabrics from Italy, we have other components that come in, and the customer said to me, he goes, when you buy a mattress because you sleep on it for 8 hours, you don't skimp on your mattress. Nowadays,
Right.
if you're sitting at your desk, why would you skimp on your chair?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so we're finding that balance between perfect quality, size, ergonomics of the chair, as well as the desk, right? And ensuring that, people feel comfortable throughout the day. And it's very important to have that. Otherwise, your productivity is going to decrease.
Yeah, I think that's the key. And are you finding with autonomous? I know you guys have some programs where employees can do direct purchase. You've
Yes.
got, kind of this new evolution of workforce. How are companies dealing with the remote workforce now? Are they supplying equipment out there in the remote workforce, or are they packaging something up so that the person can maybe keep it for their own personal use and that kind of thing? How does that come together? I'm sure you guys have seen different models.
Yes. Yes to everything. I'm going to tell you why. Because organizations are still trying to figure it out. I just worked with an organization that has even hired a physiotherapist as far as the health and welfare for their home workers. And they
Right.
came to us because of what we have. And so what they're doing is I see a lot of organizations providing credits or a certain amount of value towards your home office. I see a lot of that, right? Some companies are just go out and buy. We have a lot of organizations coming directly to us, of which we've actually had to create what we call an employee purchase portal. We had to mash what we do really well on the e-commerce side and enable organizations to push this out to their people, right? and create programs around it. And our success has been absolutely astronomical around that side. And in fact, I'm a little bit surprised at how quickly it's been adopted.
Yeah. WeWork has kind of made their name in the office,
Yeah.
kind of this hot swap desk, the whole community model for office work. And that was, I think pre-pandemic was
Yeah.
not necessarily a struggling business, but it was a different kind of business. And now, and I've talked to several of our friends in that kind of industry, and they're telling me that this has become just an absolutely huge cottage industry now,
Yes.
where offices are doing exactly what you're saying. They're downsizing, then they're going into like a WeWork application and then a work from home. So a person might have a WeWork spot for 2 days a week, and then they have a work from home spot. So they really have two desk setups kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that potentially growing even more so? So companies like Regis and all the different, organizations that do these more generalized workspaces. How do you see that moving forward?
I see it increasing, and there's two parts to this. A lot of organizations have a lot of empty space that they have to
Right.
fill, right? So traditionally, they may have had a certain percentage associated to like the what we call the WeWork, right, model. But now they're going to increase it. Why? Because as you said earlier, organizations are going to decrease their footprint for cost reasons or whatever it might be, right? And they have to provide options. Now, they also have work from home employees. That's one thing I'm seeing is there's going to be three distinct personas, right? An office employee, a work from home employee, and a flex employee, right?
Right.
The work from home employee, most of the people I'm talking to, they're not the only time they're coming into the office is to get into a meeting room and a meeting. They're not even assigned a desk. So if I look at the WeWork model, these people are also still at home. As you said before, there's not a lot of room. I've seen many Zoom calls in bedrooms and hallways and living rooms and kitchens, right? In order to get back to an office environment, for some of them, the WeWork is the only viable option. So I
Right.
see this picking up substantially as employers start to figure out and utilize solutions like ours to determine how big does my footprint really be, right? Need to be, right?
I've seen a couple of things, and there's that are really fascinating to me. Is the co-working spaces are
Yeah.
are obviously exploding now, and the adaptability of those co-working spaces of being able to utilize hot swap facilities.
Yeah.
Kind of go in and schedule a desk or schedule a meeting or a conference rooms, those kind of things. I also talked with a company here recently, a tech company, that has a portion of their facility that they used to have because they had a large work at office, and now
Yeah.
they've completely gone to remote. And what they've done is turned their own facility into a combination shared space of multi-company. So they're bringing in multi-companies now to take over parts of their facility. It's not really like a sublease, it's like their own
Yeah.
little WeWork. But they're creating a whole new, theme set of, standing desk, all the new ergonomics. They kind of have this new workflow lineup. It's a very modern model, but I was just blown away. It's down here in Miami, and I was just blown away by the innovation that they were using for, kind of this new era of work.
Well, I'm seeing we've had customers come to us that are building them. Exactly what you're saying. So we literally
Multi-company. Yeah.
they just picked up 200 desk chairs, and the whole point was converting office space that's just sitting there. Let's be honest, people have long-term leases. Sometimes they can't get out of
Yep.
it, or they own the building. So cost per square foot is very important to them. So why not put it to work? And
Yep.
there's organizations I've been working with in San Diego. I'm working with one in Denver. They are going in and specifically discussing this with organizations, saying, "You have a whole floor empty. Let's make it into a WeWork space, right?"
Right.
And we're
Right.
working close with them, as partners to ensure that, of course, they're using our furniture and our software, right, to enable that overall workplace.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen this in a couple of different models too. It's kind of fun to watch all this development. I want to jump to your website and show
Sure.
some of the products because we're big on kind of a very modern facility here in our studio. So we use standing desk, your standing desk, a lot of your
Yeah.
ergo chairs. I love this Ergo Chair Pro, which was one of the ones that I think for me, this is a great value because of the fact that you're not buying, a $1,500 Arion or a Miller Herman that is, these ridiculous, models, but yet you're getting all the benefits of it for
Yeah.
$500. And I thought, okay, no, wait a minute. Me as a business lead can look at that and say, okay, that's a pretty good deal. Plus, you guys have some cool colors here.
Yeah.
How popular has this chair been for you guys?
It's probably one of the most popular, right? We'll have, especially if you're buying a large bulk purchase, everyone still is cost conscious, right? We find that as you move up in the different styles of chairs, it's more executive, worker, conference room. So
Right.
it's kind of going, right? Common area, right? But our low end chair is still an amazing product that is, I get calls, my team gets calls every day. Can I have 50? Can I have 20? Right.
Okay.
Because
And that's more of the core product?
Yes.
Yep.
Because a lot of them have had our products since we've started in 4 or 5 years, and the durability and, how it breathes and how just the sheer quality of it, the larger guys, they have a massive inventory of items. We hone in on making sure the quality lasts and our warranty lasts, and people come back for it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you have a product called Hybrid. I want to talk about this because this was the first time I had seen an office company move to a tech company. An office, furniture company move to a tech company. Explain what you're trying to do here with this flexible work environment. This was very fascinating.
So we wanted to take the approach of making sure that we are working with the employee and the employer through the life cycle of their time in an office, right? So if you look at where we're going, and much like the hybrid environments, people need to have flexible schedules. They need to be able to come in when they need to come in, reserve when they need to reserve. So we created the hybrid OS to allow not only the employee to have the experience of coming into the office seamlessly, right? Not looking for a desk, knowing when certain individuals are there, or being next to individuals, but helping the organizations themselves with the management of this. We talked about earlier, the traditional models of having finance or HR coming into the office is gone. Most of my customers are going, okay, I need you to help me schedule Mondays and Thursdays. I'm going to have HR come in. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm going to have finance come in. Or we split the time, 4 hours on Monday HR, 4 hours on, 4 hours finance. So what we've developed is a solution that allows, like I said, the employee plus the office to manage everyone in a seamless manner. Hot desking. We're dealing with around the world with COVID. So a lot of check-in requirements, on mobile device. Don't come into the office unless you've fulfilled this checklist, right? So we've incorporated all of that. Plus, the one piece you're just scrolling through is we've developed analytic tools and a collaboration tool. So once again, the approach to this is making everyone feel connected, but also providing the data and information so a CFO or a COO can make informed decisions on what am I doing in my office space? What is my total density? What's my total office production, right? So do I have to shrink? Do I have to expand? And, right now, organizations can, with our system, we can easily see them working at 130% capacity. Why? Because we can monitor, schedule. People can't come into the office if they're not supposed to come into the office.
Right.
And then you can manage that, right?
I like the approach because this is where tech, I think, really starts to play into things where you can really look at productivity layers through software and analysis. And I was surprised that maybe companies like WeWork and others had not developed something like this, but I love the fact that you guys have done it more of a white label because anybody can use this across, whether you're a big, co-working space or you're an individual office, in utilizing these kind of software tools. All right, so if you look at kind of this whole approach of both technology and the workplace. We're seeing all sorts of different changes in even the devices that we're using. A lot
Yeah.
more either multi-monitor or even getting down into even very mobile devices. Are you seeing any tech trends that really lean toward kind of this new evolution? You had mentioned a product I think you called the Office Pod.
Yes, correct.
Explain how that evolution is moving, because I'm seeing different ways, very innovative ways of people utilizing office space.
Well, one thing that even for myself, everyone wants to create their own space when it comes to work, right? I'm not sure if you've experienced it, but I've been on Zoom calls where kids come flying through, or a
Right.
dog starts barking, and you're doing a presentation, and the crazy part is it became accepted. But I think that's going to go away a bit. There's going to be a level of professionality that needs to come back into the
Come back,
workplace,
yeah.
right? Well, what we've done, and I mean, our CEO, ridiculously visionary, he saw this months ago, and he created a office pod that you literally can put in your backyard. It has got air conditioning, desk, heating. It's soundproof. People can walk out of their house, go 15 steps, and go into their office. And some people, that's crazy, but I have worked with individuals that have Airstreams, that they bought Airstreams so they could go outside and sit
Hmm.
in their trailer and work because it's quiet, right? Their kids were all on online schools. And,
Right.
you may laugh, but our waiting list, just when we just gave a little introduction, was completely off the chart. We just launched it. It's just on. We just launched it yesterday, and already the response has been overwhelming. But it shows that the work environment, everyone still needs some space to do their job,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
And we can try, if you're not lucky enough to have an office in your house, everyone still is trying to find their little corner. This allows them now their own little space, right? Soundproof, and it's elegant. It comes with, like, your desk. It comes with a beautiful desk, comes with a chair. Has everything you need to be productive. But also, think of it this way. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but on Zoom calls, people are going crazy on their backgrounds, right? They're getting people to come in and redo their wallpaper and redo the shelving units. Now they have an elegant way of having their own office and calling it their own office, right?
Yeah. I like, well, if you look at real estate trends where people, they're buying less in size because of real
Yeah.
estate prices, whether it's the single family home or, scenarios like that. So I think this is one of those things where you could do the add-on kind of scenario
Yeah.
where if you are a work from home, and I see so many of my friends just in our community here that would love that kind of scenario, just a private studio away from the house, kind of secluded and to a certain extent a little bit more private than what you get in your third bedroom or whatever, your
Yeah.
gym, where you end up going in that direction. That's for sure. I like the approach though here with all of these different products, how you guys have kind of blended together tech, work life, home life.
Yeah.
When you look at kind of the future of where technology is going to converge on even more mobile and remote workers, how
Yeah.
do you feel and how do you guys see maybe this industry moving to the next level?
Well, once again, we're working hard to make sure our hardware, or our office desks and that, are connecting to our software and connecting to the employee. And I think that's really where, as we continue to evolve this whole new work path, how are we going to come into the office, work from home, work in a WeWork situation? How are we going to feel familiar? How is it going to become commonplace? And for us, connecting our desks to the individual. So as you walk up, they remember who you are. They remember your preferences. We have lock boxes that, if you're working in a shared space, that remembers you and opens up just according to you. The lights will adjust to how you like your lights. We're trying to bring that intimate environment no matter where you're going, right? So technology is going to play even a bigger role as we progress in health, right? Connect, our desks. We, imagine when it's time to stand up, right? The desk actually just starts lifting up.
Right.
We're going to continue to evolve and make sure that not only are they productive, but the health and welfare of the employees there, and that familiarity and the connectivity is there as well.
Hmm. Well, you've got ergonomics that tie into this, the
That's right.
movement thing. I mean, if you look at what Apple's doing, any plans to integrate with some of the smartwatches or any of those kind of devices down the road? Because I mean,
It's
they have a lot of those kind of functions of saying, "Hey, time to stand up, time to move."
Yeah, we're even embedding, or we're looking to embed screens onto the tops of our desks, right, to allow
Mm.
people. Let's be honest. You've been at your desk. You're working on your computer. Sometimes I even forget that there's a meeting. We want to see innovation and our customers are bringing forward. Hey, can you make the desk vibrate so I know I got to do something, right?
Ooh,
And
that's a good idea.
yeah, so the interesting part is autonomous is such a fast moving company. In fact, I have to keep asking my teams to update my PowerPoints because the innovation of even our hybrid OS is moving at an alarming rate. We've got multiple customers utilizing the solution and providing us feedback on a daily basis. So that's why I truly believe that, this product is going to change the way people, and I mean, not just office facilities or HR, but the employees are feeling towards their employer when they come into work, or the office facility person when they're managing the individuals. I've been in a
Right.
situation. Go to the office man. I need a desk. She's like, well, why didn't you phone me ahead of time? Now we're going to eliminate all this friction. We're going to ensure people get to where they want to do, and come into the office, get a meeting room, know where people are, connect with people, collaborate with people, right? And not just the I would say the typical tools that everyone is using, but proprietary tools that allow them to feel that they're intimate with their coworkers, no matter if they're at home or in the office.
Right. Last question I have is kind of the
Sure.
trends on the companies that are, involved in this. Because typically what you see are Fortune 500 that kind
Yeah.
of go to this really extreme, uh, ergonomic, tech-enabled office furniture and/or devices that kind of work. You guys have kind of brought that down into a much more approachable one price point, but yet
Yeah.
still maintaining all the, the huge features that you get with, I don't want to bash others, but you can spend a lot of money on a Herman Miller chair and then, other stand-up desk and things like that. Before you know it, you're in over your head in terms of costs. How have you guys been able to kind of tie all that together and make it available for so many different markets?
Well, I give a lot of credit to our back office team. They reach that higher mid market to mid market segment very easily, and like I think it's, as we talked about before, our costs and our value
Right,
is going through the industry. We have 100,000 businesses that have bought our products. We have
right.
over a million individuals, millions of individuals actually that are utilizing what we're doing. And the crazy part is the big guys, the Herman Millers, the rest, we're disrupting the way that they are traditionally doing their business because the end consumer is using our product. They're loving our product, and
Hmm.
they're coming to their own businesses saying, why aren't we using your product? Why aren't we using this
Exactly.
product? I'm used to it being at home. I love what it is. I'm not tired. You know, my body doesn't ache when I'm done during, sitting in it for 5 hours. And I've got this desk and this chair that is just a desk and chair cubicle. Do I want to even be in the office? No, I don't. Right.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting. We're reaching a new market, and I mean the response has been overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah. Your evolution is pretty amazing. I'm looking at this product you call A2, which I thought was really fascinating. One is because I have kids of my own, and they're constantly in messing with my standing desk. So
Yeah.
because they just they like it. They like, first of all, I haven't realized how much children like to stand and work. I've noticed that because
Yeah.
when my daughter comes in, she likes to do her workbook, and we end up raising it to her height, which she says, this is great, Daddy, because now you have a custom desk and I have a custom desk, but the only
Yeah.
problem is we have to share the same desk. So this is a great product. So explain to me a little about what you guys did with A2. This is a cool thing.
Well, we want it to exactly like that. The kids are seeing how their parents are working from home for sure, right? But also think about it this way: a lot of work from, like, a lot of school was done at home as well, right? So, are we doing artwork? We're lowering the desk doing artwork. Are we doing math, or are we doing something else? Maybe they'll do it standing up, right? It's good. You
Right.
remember for a long time, our kids were trapped in the house. They had no sports, they had nothing, right? So keeping them moving and also feeling, look, our kids are way more technologically advanced than we are, even at 6, right? They grasp things faster. And what we wanted to do is make it interesting. Here's some of the designs that we're offering to the kids. We incorporated multiple artists to come to us with different designs to make it fun. So it's not, I think, like you said, another type of desk that's just
Right.
brown or just white,
Yeah.
right? Right. It's and the response has been really good. We'll find it's crazy when people are doing their home office. They're like, exactly what you are. Look at this. This is really good. I like it. And it's a freestanding desk. You can move it around. You can put it in places that are going to be useful to you and also for their children, right?
Yeah, for sure. Very cool stuff. You guys are definitely on the right track, and I think adapting kind of to the technology-driven society that we have today. So, kind of adapting the tool sets to both us and our environments, which is kind of why we love to see companies like yours out there doing so great. So great having you on the show today, Jason. Can't wait to see more of this.
We have more.
I can't wait to see more of this.
Yeah, I've got much. I can't. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing right now. It's actually going to be, I think, a completely different podcast on what we're doing. We are going to take the WeWork to the next level. So I'm just going to leave you with that little. I'm going to take you to that.
That's a good one.
A little tidbit for next time, and we'll get back to it. But it really is going to revolutionize the way people are using WeWork, the way businesses can use and leverage it, and the way our autonomous customers can leverage it as well. So I'll leave you with that little bit.
All right. Well, there you go. We got a cliffhanger. Excellent having you on the show today. We appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So you guys are listening in over on the podcast right now. Make sure and give us some stars and some ratings. Give your feedback there. That's how we kind of get, kind of an understanding of what you want to see, hear, listen on the show. And if you are on YouTube, make sure and subscribe to the channel. Share this with someone else. We cover a lot of technology. Everything from things like this, which is really kind of the personal technology that is starting to kind of go into your life. We're looking at maybe going into more and more wearables here on the show. But obviously, as you guys know, we cover crypto, we cover EV, AI, autonomy, all those kind of topics. So make sure and send ideas to us if you want to see something here on TechPath. That's producer@revernetworks.com. Hit me up on Twitter @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.